You may learn about investing and how to make the best financial decisions for your life on Investor Facts. Make sure you click the subscription button and enable the notification bell if you haven't already. Share, like, and comment. We'll be discussing about Tesla's declining EV market share in today's video, the implications of this for Tesla and the larger EV market. To make sense of all this is happening with Tesla's declining market share, let's talk sales figures. What does this truly imply for Tesla once more? First things first, Tesla actually had really good sales year last year. They sold about 1 million cars worldwide and approximately 300,000 units in the US. Just to put those figures into perspective, let's take a look at Ford and Toyota, two very significant automakers. Here in the US, Ford sold a little under 2 million vehicles. In the US, Toyota sold a little over 2 million vehicles, followed by Ford, which sold over 4 million vehicles internationally. Then Toyota sold 10 million automobiles because it is a true giant, whose size few can truly comprehend. The fact that they sell a lot of cars explains why they have so much money to spend however they choose. While this proves that Tesla is a significant automaker, it is not on the same level as established brands like Ford, Toyota, General Motors, and so on. Their market shares also sort of demonstrates this since peak Tesla has already largely occurred in the US. As a result, in 2020, Tesla controlled around 79% of the EV market. When 2021 finally arrived, that decreased to just under 70%, and this year, it is anticipated to decrease even further, albeit not by as much as that 10% decrease. The current sales figures sort of support this. With the Model Y and Model 3, Tesla has sold slightly over 100,000 units to date, and it continues to hold 4 of the top 5 spots for EV sales in the US. The third place Ford Mustang Mach-E has sold just under 20,000 units so far, followed by the Tesla Model S at about 15,000 units and the Model X at roughly 13,000 units. It's not like Tesla is going to triple in size, die, or vanish anytime soon, but they are no longer the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 players in the market. Ford is currently in contention, and as Ford receives more deliveries of the F-150 Lightning, I'm confident that it will quickly overtake the Model X and subsequently the Model S in terms of sales figures. And Tesla will no longer own 4 out of the top 5 positions. Sincerity be told, there are other vehicles that I believe will succeed greatly in the near future in the US. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 has sold 13,000 units with that, and the EV6 is getting close to doing the same, which put it very close to the Model S and Model X. Even though those two Tesla models are far more expensive, there are more reasonably priced EVs that are coming to the market and will soon be sold in large quantities, which will once again gradually erode Tesla's market dominance. However, even though Tesla is losing market share, all is not lost. With more vehicles being sold than ever, it can be said that EV market is gradually expanding in the United States. Although some groups would want to see this growth happen much more quickly than it is currently, it is still happening. Tesla's tiny portion of the pie is getting smaller, but the total pie is expanding more quickly than Tesla's tiny bit. If that makes sense, so Tesla still owns a huge piece. Some analysts predict that within the next 5 to 10 years, Tesla's share of the market will decline from almost being the entire pie to perhaps only 5 to 10% of this market share pie with EVs. This prediction makes sense because at this point, Tesla is not really every person's EV automakers as we thought they would be. Rather, they are more of a luxury EV automakers since most people who compare Tesla with other cars are essentially comparing them with luxury cars. In reality, they aren't comparing Teslas to Ford, Toyotas, or even other common non-luxury brands. People basically compare Teslas with BMW, Audi, Mercedes, and other similar brands. So as I said, unless they drastically change things and start releasing really affordable models, which is what they've been promising to do for the longest time but don't really seem to be doing, we're pretty close to peak Tesla. This is where I put on my tinfoil hat and tell you guys what I believe will happen with Tesla within the next 5 to 10 years based on the study I have done. If you don't want to listen to any guesswork, I suppose you can click off at this point. First off, despite the fact that their sales numbers indicate otherwise, I believe that Tesla's overall market share will continue to decline. I'm not so sure whether they will merely account for 5 to 10% of the total EV market in the issuing 5 years because they have such a well-known brand in the US. I believe they will continue to dominate the market. Legacy automakers will undoubtedly disappear in the EV world, a significant portion of their market share, but since their brand is so well known, Tesla has developed something like a cult following. So I believe their actual market share may be slightly higher. Additionally, I believe that it will take the established manufacturers a little bit longer than anticipated to fully scale up production with their own EVs. As a result, Tesla will have a little bit more time in the spotlight and a little bit more market share. Despite this, I do not believe that Tesla will ever outsell traditional manufacturers in terms of total annual car sales. I believe that Tesla will likely fall somewhere between 2 and 4 million vehicles annually. They may be as large as a corporation like Ford, but I doubt they will ever outsell larger rivals like Toyota in terms of sales, because many consumers haven't yet jumped on the electric vehicle bandwagon. Tesla doesn't offer any other vehicles beside the EVs. And as I mentioned, the company is still a luxury automaker at this point. Their least expensive vehicle starts at $50,000 here in the US, and the packages that people actually order are typically over $60,000 for the Model 3 and the Model Y, costing nearly $15,000 more than the typical price of a new car. Therefore, I believe this will be the sweet spot, which is probably roughly 1 million more units than what they are now selling. However, I could be mistaken. Tesla may sell 10 million vehicles annually, but in order to raise volume beyond what they are currently doing, I believe they would need to introduce many more models at much lower prices when compared to other brands, which are producing their own EVs at a slower rate. I mean, take the luxury market, where Mercedes, for instance, has an EV. Now that BMW, Audi, Porsche, and Tesla all have electric vehicles, Tesla still has a significant competitive advantage over those other automakers in the high-end electric vehicle market. People no longer have to choose between buying a Tesla or an expensive premium car because those automakers will continue to release more and more EVs because customers have to decide between an electric vehicle from a legacy automaker and one from Tesla. There is essentially a lot more competition for Tesla in that premium market overall. As I previously stated, they are currently not in a non-luxury segment. So as we kind of advance into the future, what I envision is Tesla becoming simply another American automaker. I am quite curious to hear your opinions on this matter and your predictions for Tesla's future developments. Do you believe that ultimately they will simply vanish, just as the initial excitement will fade and people won't buy them any longer? Or do you believe they will eventually become just another one of the major American automakers? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching the entire clip. If you like it, kinda let us know by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Also, don't forget to enable the notification bell so you can be the first to know when we post a new video. In the following video, I'll see you.